Hey everyone, my name is Wedge. It's Monday, spoiler season is over, Magic Origins is out, and we're here with a tournament review. Today we're looking at the top 8 from the Star City Games Open in Chicago, Illinois. There's a new standard in the air, can't just smell it? Let's get started. Tan Nguyen won the day with Green-Red Devotion. This is not a new deck, but it has been finding new cards with every set. Fate Reforged brought Whisperwood Elemental, Dragon's Atarakir gave a Dragonlord Atarka, and for Magic Origins, Nguyen's list adds Sword of the Animist as a one-of. For those who haven't seen it before, this deck is all about ramps, seriously. It runs 4 each of Elvish Mystic, Sylvan Caryatid, Rattleclaw Mystic, and Courser of Crewfix, plus the aforementioned Sword. All that together adds up to one of a few high-end threats, Dragonlord Atarka, Ugin the Spirit Dragon, or Hornet Queen. There are a few Genesis Hydra to dig for those endgame threats, and the extra mana also helps turn up anything you manifest with Whisperwood Elemental. Second place went to Logan Mize with Blue-White Heroic. In terms of new cards, this deck actually doesn't have much, or anything really. None of the cards here are newer than Fate Reforged. However, the strategy has evolved quite a bit since we last looked at it. For one thing, there's no more removal. At all. It's all about getting 1 or 2 of your cheap heroic creatures on the table and then boosting them to high heaven. You deal with your opponent's threats by dropping Ordeal of Heliod, of which you have a full playset. Ajani's Presence and God's Willing protect your attackers while triggering Heroic, and Stubborn Denial can take care of anything else those cards don't cover. Aqueous Form makes your chosen hero unblockable, and that should let you end the game pretty quickly. Heroic is always a great meta choice at the beginning of a new format, really preys on decks with less than ideal removal suites. The rest of the top 4 was all Green-Red Devotion, with Ross Merriam in 3rd place and Chris Anderson in 4th, both running variations. Both were mostly similar to Tan Nguyen's 1st place list, but with some minor variations. Merriam's omitted Ugin and Sword of the Animist to fit in 2 Nissa Vastwood Seer / Sage Animist, the new one. He also swapped out a one-of Ash Cloud Phoenix in favor of an additional Genesis Hydra. Anderson's list cut out pretty much the same cards, but instead added Deathmist Raptor. While he didn't have any Den Protector in the main deck, he did have a couple on sideboard. 5th place went to Bruce Edelman and his Obzan Control deck. This deck is pretty much the same Obzan Control we all know, split pretty much evenly between creatures like Courser, Rhino, and Tasigur, and removal spells like Downfall, Ultimate Price, and Obzan Charm. The big addition here is Languish, which sweeps pretty much everything outside of the list while leaving Rhino and Tasigur alive. New Nissa also makes an appearance here with her land searching, thinning your library while also helping get her online as a Planeswalker. Den Protector also puts in an appearance without her buddy Deathmist Raptor. The value is just too good, especially when so many of your cards are one-off spot removal. Next up is Kevin McCleskey in 6th place with Jeskai Tokens. It's business as usual here. Efficient token producers times Jeskai Ascendancy triggers equals huge attacks. It's simple math, really. The main addition here from Origins is a full set of Jace Vryn's Prodigy / Telepath Unbound. Igniting Jace enables his -3 to recur all of your token producers, letting you get more tokens without going down a card. This also gives you more Jeskai Ascendancy triggers, which is always helpful. In a pinch, you can also bring down the threat level of an enemy attacker with his +1. In 7th place, we have Jeff Hooglin with Blue-White Control. Most of the list is pretty typical control stuff, removal spells like Last Breath, Valorous Stance, and Swift Reckoning. Counters like Disdainful Stroke, Dissolve, and Clash of Wills, even a sweeper or 2 and End Hostilities. What's new is the Artifact package, yeah, you heard me. This deck runs 4 Hangerback Walker and 2 Thopter Spy Network to generate Thopters and use them to keep drawing cards. With the help of those artifacts, Artificer's Epiphany becomes an instant divination. There's also a few Darksteel Citadel to make sure those cards stay live. While it wouldn't exactly serve the same purpose, we have to wonder whether there might be a place in this deck for Foundry of the Consuls after Citadel rotates out. Lastly, Matthew Check finished 8th with Mardu Dragons. The deck runs a solid mix of creatures and removal, but those creatures are aggressively curved. You start at 2 mana with Seeker of the Way and Soulfire Grand Master, then Rabble Master at 3. At 4 you get into the dragons with Thunderbreak Regent. Stormbreath Dragon and Kolaghan the Storm's Fury sit at 5 as hasty attackers. The rest of your spells are removal and Thoughtseize. This includes playsets of Crackling Doom and Draconic Roar, significant cards because they let you keep pressure on your opponent's life total while also, killing other stuff. And that's the top 8 from the Open in Chicago. While most of the decks here were fairly familiar, there were some crazy new strategies peppered throughout the Open, and we'll be highlighting some of those in our deck text this week. And of course, we'll be back next week looking at GP Dallas/Fort Worth and the SCG Open in Richmond. As always, subscribe for the latest and most reliable Magic the Gathering information you could ever need. This is the Manosaurus. I'm Wedge. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Wow.